Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by Intuit TurboTax Live.
The music, the studio, the friends, the championship weekend. Hi, everybody. Welcome to NFL Primetime Championship Sunday style. Chris Berman along with Keyshawn Johnson. Good to see you. You're up late tonight. Morning man on the radio now. You're up late. This must be big.
More you can do, Boom. More you can do.
Yeah, lefty relief, all that kind of stuff. So, look, we expected fun games on this day, and we were not disappointed, right?
Not at all.
Not disappointed at all. So where do we begin? With what just ended. Why don't we do that? Kansas City Chiefs, defending Super Bowl champs, #1 seed, have won 24 of 26 total games since early November a year ago. Patrick Mahomes knocked out in the second half last week. Would he play? We knew Friday that he would. So would the Chiefs be clicking on all cylinders? They had to be, because here came the circling the wagons Buffalo Bills. 2 home playoff wins against the Indianapolis Colts, and then last week holding the Ravens to 3. The Bills have won 11 of 12. The only loss they've had in about 2 months was the Hail Mary. So you knew 2 hot teams, 2 capable offenses meeting at Arrowhead in the heartland. And here we go. AFC Championship game. Oh, yeah, Arrowhead, been around a long time. 3 in a row AFC title games for Andy Reid's Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes warming up. Youngest quarterback to start 3 AFC Championship games. Bills have kicked an early field goal, so they've kept that momentum from home. The punt, and Mecole Hardman can run fast, but you got to have the ball. It's a fumble. Tywan Jones is on it. A special teams miscue. Chiefs, Key.
Yeah, he spotted them this right there. They got 6 points on the possession right after this to give them a 9-0 lead.
Well, and here it is. Oh, my goodness. And then they walk over and say, relax, we're going to need you in the game. But as you alluded to very quickly, given a 3-yard to the end zone, Josh Allen Dawson knocks touchdown. They missed the extra point. 9. Look at Mahomes over there with Hardman. We need you. 9-0. And to prove that he needed him, he hit him with a short pass first. Then Travis Kelce, a recurring theme, down to the Buffalo 32. 4th and 1. Duh. Chiefs going to go for it. Duh. Pass to Darrell Williams. Keeping the ball, the Chiefs.
The same thing that they did last week, Boom, on that 4th and 1 to Tyreek Hill. This time they used the back out of the backfield.
And now second quarter later in the drive, Mahomes to Hardman. See, we need you. We're not lying. They trail 9-7. Way to keep him in the game. They would need him. Oh, the little trickery. It's Hardman again. We told you he's the Roadrunner Jr. Meep. I know there's only one Tyreek Hill, but Hardman, 50 yards. Kelce blocking. His speed does the rest.
That is true, Boom. You got to have confidence in your playmakers and keep them engaged in the football game. That is what Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, along with Patrick Mahomes, was telling him on the sideline.
So very much involved. And there's Williams, who ran so well last week up the middle 6 yards. So after down 9-0, Kansas City roaring back. It's 14-9. 3-and-out Bills. 3rd and 6 for Reid's Chiefs. Mahomes. Milano in. He's such a good. How does he make that throw to Kelce for 11 yards to the first down?
It's just the strength in the arm. You remember he played baseball, Boom. So that twist of the arm is just a flick of the wrist. We've seen him do it time and time again.
Milano's such a good player, but the Bills had their hands full. Mahomes avoiding pressure. Meep. This is the Roadrunner. Tyreek Hill downfield, 33-yard gain. Now 1st and goal. He's been injured for a few weeks. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the running back that ran for so much in the regular season win in October for the Chiefs over the Bills. 21 unanswered points, 21-9 Kansas City. 3 minutes left in the half. Josh Allen, time. T.J. Yeldon got a lot of time in the backfield, and he made his presence felt, Keith.
He did, and Zach Moss was hurt for the Buffalo Bills. So here's a great throw by Josh Allen, staying alive along with T.J. Yeldon, a guy who they picked up and said, hey, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He helped them out a little bit there, Boom.
21-9, Allen with 20 seconds to go in the half to Knox, but he's short of the end zone. 4th down, and I agree with this. Look, the momentum's been all Kansas City. Sean McDermott says, let's bring on the field goal team. Bass converts 21-12. Let's get some points at the end of the half. Now it's 24-12. Allen, Cole Beasley didn't catch any balls at all last week. He was leading receiver today for Buffalo, 23-yard gain. 3rd and 3. The Chiefs did a pretty good job on the leading receiver in football, did a very good job. Stephon Diggs, he had some numbers, but he was covered well all day, Key.
He was covered well, and that's the one thing about a defense. If you can take away Diggs, then you have an opportunity to slow down Josh Allen in that explosive offense of Buffalo.
Did you say slow down? Nobody's going to slow this guy down. Mahomes, Hill, Poyer, he at least got a piece of him. I think Tyreek is going, really?
Yeah,
Somebody
he couldn't believe it. Could not believe it, Boom.
Well, but then there's this. You know, it's winter. You got to bring your shovel every now and then. That's some of the games. Shovel to Kelsey. Touchdown, Chiefs, 31-15.
A little trickery again for the Kansas City Chiefs. That was one of 2 touchdowns for Travis Kelsey in the game.
Now, fourth quarter, 31-15 still. Allen, you know, it's still 16 points and picked off. Rashad Fenton. Some names you may not know, but they all contributed. The Chiefs had a great defensive plan. And Sean McDermott said, well, we're trying to make stuff happen, and it was off our hands.
The one thing Josh Allen did there that I wish he could take back is trying to jam it in with 3 receivers hovering around, 3 DBs hovering around his receiver.
But now off the pick, Mahomes to Kelsey. He would be wide open off the 3rd and goal. Eric Bieniemy, please. He's head coach material, but not right now. He's staying right now. Nice play call. He was open.
His concentration on getting to the Super Bowl, not a head coaching job.
I agree. Now, 3.5 to go, and then it gets Okafor with the tackle. Allen tosses ball. Deion Dawkins, you know, protecting his quarterback. Okafor to the ground. Everybody comes in. There are a lot of it's flag day all of a sudden. It's not the United Nations.
This is when the frustration sits in. You're getting beat up at the line of scrimmage. They're dominating you. You're not able to do anything. And Josh Allen didn't like it, so he just flipped the ball in the face mask, offsetting penalties. They went on to have another down and live to see another day.
And so in the end, it's 38-24. The Chiefs defend the Lamar Hunt Trophy, the AFC Championship trophy, in their own stadium. There's Kelsey and Coach Reed and family and the confetti and the fans, 17,000 that were there. And the Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. Another huge game for Travis Kelsey. Now here we go. This is the numbers first. Patrick Mahomes, you see that, 325, 29 of 38, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Kelsey and Hill were unbelievable. Kelsey, 13 for $118. Hill, 9 for $172. You total it up over the 2 games last week, Cleveland, this week at Buffalo. It's approximately, 40 catches for these guys? Travis Kelsey, another 100-yard game at the tight end position, going back to the Super Bowl.
Travis, you're going back to the Super Bowl for the 2nd consecutive year. How does it feel?
Woo, baby, it feels good, man. It feels good. Can't play the game before the game, though, baby. We got 2 weeks to get this thing right. We know Tampa's a hell of a team, and they're playing in their own stadium where they're most comfortable, and we're going to have to go out there and, put it all out on the line just like we did tonight.
Travis, thank you.
You know it, baby. Chiefs Kingdom, this one's for you, baby. Woo!
Jeff Darlington, good job right after the game with Kelsey as in record book, another 100-yard. Look, this is, and I know they've won almost every game, Key. I mean, going to early October, November a year ago, the Chiefs, I think they've won every game but 2. This was, for the first time in 2 months, 60 minutes of Chiefs football. It's the first time they could exhale in the last 3 minutes of the game, being up by more than a score.
Well, you think about it, Boom, from the beginning of the season, they've gone wire to wire. A lot of people picked them to go to the Super Bowl. They delivered on those goods. It looked a little bleak at times last week against the Cleveland Browns, especially when they lost Patrick Mahomes. You didn't know what would take place with Chad Henne, but he got the job done. They moved on now. Obviously advanced to the Super Bowl, and it'll be a hell of a game against the Buccaneers. You know
what was interesting here, and look, you saw the game. When they met in October, it was a long time ago, and you can draw some things from early games, but not a ton. They ran it because the Bills were playing, pass defense, and they didn't expect to run it that much, but they kept pounding it over 200 yards. This time, Both of those receivers, here again, combined 20 plus for a combined, 250 yards? They're unstoppable, even though the Bills' defense has been getting better every week.
As you look at Travis Kelce, a key component to what they do offensively, but Tyreek Hill as well. Then when you talk about a tight end that can dominate at the level, he's like a wide receiver in a tight end body. He's very elusive. You see him with the shovel pass. You see him out there blocking on the perimeter. He's running shallow crosses. The wide open touchdown coming from the opposite side, boom, over on the other side and being spotted by Patrick Mahomes for an easy touchdown. So when you have that in your arsenal, you can pick and choose whether it's Hartman, whether it's Tyreek Hill, or whether it's Travis Kelce. And remember, Sammy Watkins didn't even play in this game. Imagine when he comes back.
I know for a fact, I'm not just guessing, the Chiefs knew they had to play a strong game the way the Bills had been playing both sides of the ball, and I include special teams, which is where they gave them a touchdown. And it's almost as if, no, we're not toying with other teams, taking nothing away from the Clevelands or whatever, but we can't do that if we really want to go back. Their defense is sneaky. Look, no one's going to compare them to the 2000 Baltimore Ravens on defense. But they're sneaky good. Do you agree?
Yeah, they are sneaky good. And I think that when you look at them, though, from an offensive standpoint, when you got Josh Allen, yes, Stephon Diggs is top receiver, one of the top receivers in the National Football League. But when you hold him to 6 catches for 77 yards, that's not a big get. Cole Beasley did his thing, but they got to go out and look at it next year and go get another guy opposite of Stephon Diggs to move the chains. And I think when they do that, get Zach Moss back on the offensive side at the running back position, they'll have that nucleus together. They can make another strong run at a championship game.
Here's the thing on Buffalo, and we can go to it now because we're going to have more to talk about the Chiefs. We get a full hour here. This Bills team, certainly they've been put together unbelievably, completely, building all 3 levels of it. Reminds me, I'm going to go back in history a little bit. When the Green Bay Packers with Brett Favre and Mike Holmgren started advancing, they'd win one playoff game and then they'd get to the divisional round. Then in '95, look it up, they got to the championship game, first time at that level, and they ended up playing Dallas, who beat them, and Dallas went on to win their 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years. Buffalo just got to this level and played the Chiefs. This is the old-fashioned way of this. And I know you're always going to say nice things about teams at this point, but they're going to get a big-time pass rusher next year. This is a team clearly, and fun to watch, clearly just scratching at the surface of the upper echelon. I really believe that.
That is true, but they got to look out for those other 3 teams within that division.
Well,
right? Miami is going to try to do something. New England will try to retool, and then the Jets will still be trying to figure it out. As long as they keep their foot on the pedal, and I think the general manager, Brandon Beam, has done a hell of a job at putting this team together. And I mean, when you think about a young quarterback in Josh Allen, didn't have a big-time receiver 2 years ago. They went out and got Stephon Diggs to pair with him so he can develop, and now he's on the verge of becoming a real MVP in this league.
Look, they circled a ton of wagons this year. This is a big wagon. They're in the heartland. There's a bigger wagon that you need to circle at this point because the Kansas Bills, great season. Proud of you. Okay, we can say it. We're proud of you. The Kansas City Chiefs have a chance at the history books. Of course, they're going to be battling history, but we're going to talk about the NFC in a moment. Teams that have repeated, and it's about one a decade, right? The 03-04 Patriots. We haven't had one since Bill Belichick and young Tom Brady did it. The Broncos, the last 2 years of John Elway, Mike Shanahan, the coach. Of course, the Cowboys, the young Cowboys, 92 and 93. The Niners in 88 and 89, Joe's number 3 and number 4. The Steelers did it twice in the 70s. Needless to say, the Dolphins were perfect. And then the first 2 Super Bowls, the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, it's a short list. It's an impressive list. And the Chiefs have a chance to join this list. Look, they can get caught up in the history books. They won't. But look what they have a chance to do with everybody looking at them going into this year. And we pointed out earlier, you're the favorite. You're by far and away the favorite. You have Patrick Mahomes. You're doing this. You have Andy Reid. You've won. You're not. And they won almost every game.
They did. And you say almost every game. They lost to 1 game to the Raiders, a division team that kind of know them. And then when you look at the loss at the end of the season, I don't even count that. That doesn't matter, right? But they kept their foot on the pedal. They continued to mash away at everything. They didn't get sidetracked with Eric Bieniemy interviewing for jobs. They didn't allow that to get in the way. They just continued to do things, and Spags continued to get the defense going in the right direction. You've got to think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be around for a while, Boom. I mean, you got to figure the next 5 to 6 years is going to really be special in Kansas City.
Is it number 15, the quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then they would be around.
Well, 15, Kelsey, Hill.
They'll be around.
I mean, Clyde Edwards. I mean,
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
They're going to be around.
Honey Badger. I mean, they're going to be, it's going to be something special.
But they haven't won the Super Bowl yet because, did you see that list? See that guy on the top on the right, Brady? Well, if you're going to battle history, you're going to do it against, well, someone who owns that history. Tom Brady, Bucs, trying to beat Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. And could they play a Super Bowl in their home stadium after winning 3 straight road playoff games? The NFC Championship game and a frustrated Aaron Rodgers at the end. We'll see the highlights. We'll hear from everyone when we return.
There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now. And I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything.
NFL Primetime is presented by Intuit TurboTax Live.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. Well, 2001, the Patriots shocked the Rams in the year of 9/11. Then, 2003, Tom Brady, Patriots, repeated, beating Carolina, great game. Then, 2004, beating Philadelphia in Jacksonville. Couple of close calls, of course. In 2014, the amazing finish against the Seahawks. 2016, did we say amazing? The comeback. The amazing, the unbelievable comeback against Atlanta. And then just a couple of years ago against the Los Angeles Rams. 6 Lombardi trophies, Tom Brady, Patriots. I mean, in 2 decades, you're not going to see a team do this for 2 decades again.
No, you're not going to. Not even close.
However, we may see an individual keep winning, at least at the moment, because Tom Brady and the Buccaneers did not win their division. Okay, they were 7-5 going into their bye, but then they started rolling and rolling and rolling, and they won on the road at Washington, and then they won on the road at New Orleans. But now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, built to win the Super Bowl, with the guy that's owned Super Bowls, going to Lambeau Field to face Aaron Rodgers, probably the MVP this year, and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers themselves have been on a roll. They've won their last 7. They got to the championship game a year ago, but believe this really was their year. What a perfect setting for the NFC title game on the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Just feels good to say it, see it. 29 degrees, snow overnight, shoveling during the day, but the field was all right. There, key. Football, right?
Yes, sir.
Lambeau Field, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, pair of 12s. Pair of number 1s. 3rd and 4, Brady to Mike Evans. They made another 3rd down on the first drive. Then 3rd and 7, Brady to Evans. Everything was 3rd and most everything long, Key. 7-0 Tampa Bay out of the gate.
They knew exactly what to do on 3rd down. That is Tom Brady's recipe for success, not a disaster.
3rd and 15, Aaron Rodgers says, if he's doing it, I better do it. And complete to Allen Lounge Lazard. 23 yards. 3rd and 3. Rodgers. DeMarcus Valdes-Scantling. He's only good when it's a 25-yard play, right? He's unbelievable.
When you got a guy like Rodgers putting it in the breadbasket, if you're dropping it, then you don't need to be playing in the National Football League.
We're tied at 7. Now Bucs, 3rd and 9. Again, 3rd and long, second quarter. Brady feels it, moves a little. Oh, Chris Godwin with a 52-yard catch.
Great concentration right there by Godwin, understanding that Brady's giving him an opportunity to go up and make a play, and he made one for Brady.
You know who looked the best he has all year as a Buck Key? Leonard Fournette. Twist, turns, bulls, 20 yards, 14-7 Tampa Bay.
4 tackles missed right there, Boom, but he stayed looking down the field with the twist move to get into the end zone.
Key moment of the game. 38 seconds to go in the half. Jason Pierre-Paul's had a great year as a Pro Bowler. One of his 2 sacks. Now, 2nd and 18. Rodgers throwing. Sean Murphy bunting with the pick.
Great interception by him, but the receiver needs to shave that thing down. Lazar floating up. Hill's going to allow the defensive back to undercut him. An interception made right there.
3rd and 3. Oh, and the Packers could have made the pick. Will Redmond.
If you catch this football, Boom, you get out of there, get into halftime, but instead, here's what happened.
It's 4th and 3. Brady, Fournette just get the first down. Timeout Tampa Bay with 8 seconds on the clock. They just kind of play it safe for a field goal? No. These are the Bucs. Bruce Arians dials it up. Tom Brady throws it up, and Scotty Miller catches it for a back-breaking touchdown at the end of the half, 21-10.
One bad thing after another. I have no idea what type of defense they were in right here. Scotty Miller out of a bunch formation, wide departure, gets up on the defensive back, runs past him, puts his hands up. Brady sees him, touchdown.
Now 3rd and 5, opening 3rd quarter. Rodgers, Aaron Jones, but Jordan Whitehead, number 33. Devin White, who was all over the field, had 15 tackles and the recovered fumble. What a mistake right out of the gates. And what does Tom do? Like he did against New Orleans, all the short fields. Key, Cameron Brate from Harvard, 28-10.
That's exactly what happens when the defensive backs are looking in the backfield. The tight end slams down, pops out, touchdown.
Packers, oh my goodness, we're down by 18. Rodgers, Robert Tonyan, 28-17. They're within 11. Bucs now with the ball. Now, Thomas only thrown 1 pick in this winning streak, but this one sails, and Adrian Amos, famous Amos, passed the chocolate chip cookies, please.
He certainly did, Boom. He made a great play getting off the hash on that particular ball.
Could use some cookies after the show. It opens it up. Devontae Adams, the Adams family.
Great freeze at the line of scrimmage on a slant route right there. Gets inside of him. Rodgers understands he needs to get the football to his playmakers. He wants the defense to get a stop so they can get the ball back.
They go for a 2-point conversion, don't get it. 28-23. Rodgers firing up the defense. And guess what? They listen. The ball tipped off hands, intercepted Jair Alexander from Louisville.
Tom Jackson. This is a perfect throw, in my opinion. He's got to make this catch. He's a professional wide receiver. Go up and get that ball. This is an NFC Championship game, Boom.
Now, Packers defense gets stopped. Rodgers sacks Shaquille. Shaq Barrett had 3 sacks today, Key.
The defense is dominant on that side of the ball for the Buccaneers all playoff long.
Now Brady. Oh, wait a minute. This Alexander, again, 3 straight drives, a pick against Tom.
Well, the pressure was coming. Tom had to get rid of the ball. That's okay because it was just as good as a punt.
After the Bucs had a field goal, 31-23, Rodgers. Valdez-Scantling, of course, it's 29 yards, drive continues. 3rd and goal. Aaron. Run it! I didn't know he throws it, but incomplete to Adams. Here's the look again.
Here's a huge lane. Just keep going, Rand. I felt like Rodgers could get there to the front pylon. He didn't trust it. Therefore, they've now got to get off the field, kick a field goal.
So they wait a minute. They're down 8. There's just more than 2 minutes left. Crosby comes in. I know it's 4th and goal from the 8 and 31-25, but you may not get the ball back. 3rd and 4. Brady. Oh, incomplete to Tyler Johnson, but grab.
Yeah, it was a lot of clock there. You got to call this. The only thing and the problem that I have with it, Boom, is the referee waited until it was an incomplete pass before he decided to throw the cloth.
Well, but it was
you
right,
can't do that a little sticky. We're getting a little too sticky, but hey, man, what can I say? The Bucs are moving on to the Super Bowl.
Yep, it got him a first down, and they ran out the clock. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have become one of a handful of teams, we'll run them off later, that have won 3 straight road games to get to the Super Bowl, which, oddly enough, they'll play in their home stadium. The Bucs, 31. The Pack, 26. In a battle of 2 of the all-time greats. The guy that wins almost all the time in money situations, Tom Brady, wins again.
Now home Super Bowl for the first time in NFL history, I think puts a lot of cool things in perspective. Anytime you're the first time doing something, it's usually a pretty good thing. So now we just got to go, have a great 2 weeks, prepare for whoever it is, and, be ready to go.
We were coming down here to get to the Super Bowl, for sure, hands down, but there was so much work that had to be put in, and it was all put in, and now we're here. We're going to the Super Bowl, and that's what it's all about, baby.
I felt great about the third down call. We actually ran it earlier in the game, same play that Tate caught out of the end zone. And looking at it back, it looked like he ended up crossing face late and may have been kind of back across my body, an opportunity. I felt like I had a chance maybe to run it, but I felt like there was a guy kind of closing on me. Matty allowed me to call that third down play. If I had known we were going to kick it, if we didn't get it, maybe something else would have been maybe gone with some sort of, crossing routes maybe there instead. But I thought maybe we're going to have 4 chances to go.
Anytime it doesn't work out, you always regret it, right? But it was just the circumstances of having 3 shots and coming away with no yards, and knowing that you not only need the touchdown, but you'd need the 2-point. So the way I was looking at it was we essentially had 4 timeouts with the 2-minute warning.
There's a lot of unknowns going into this offseason now, and I'm going to have to take some time away for sure and clear my head and just kind of see what's going on with everything. But it's pretty tough right now.
Guys, the MVP of this league, he is the heart and soul of our football team. So, hell yeah, he better be back here.
Well, we'll start with that because, look, let's frame it properly. You've been there. A crushing defeat when everything is not everything, but when you've had a season like so that you don't expect to go like this and then not have the chance to do something about it at the very end. I don't think anybody was intending to throw anybody else under the bus, but when Aaron says I need some time, it's crushing. There's no other way to put it, right, Key?
Well, you do need time, Boom, and you need to be able to take a step back from everything that's going on because it's moving really fast. It's like a freeway. And so you'll say something you don't want to say. You take some time off. You reflect on what you went through this season. You look at what the roster is. You look at all of those things before you go back in there to try to move forward toward next year. And I don't have a problem with that at all. I think Aaron Rodgers deserves to take some time off. Not rush to any type of judgment. When you look at it, there was some things that he said there, let me see, and then you got the coach saying, you dang right, we want him back. So it's kind of, what does this mean? What does this mean for Aaron Rodgers moving forward? Well, let me say that the call, look, any decision, did they punt on 4th down? Did they go for it, not make it, go for it? When 5 minutes to go, maybe. In retrospect, we're all Monday morning quarterbacks, Key. 2 and 10 seconds to go, Key, to not give the MVP of the league another shot. Admittedly, gaining no yards. What do we think of kicking the field goal? I didn't like it. I think, when I look at it, I think Matt LaFleur thought that his defense can hold them, get the points. We kick the ball off to Jadon Mickens. Now we could stop them possibly inside the 20-yard line. But I would have given Aaron Rodgers the opportunity to score the touchdown because they would have been, let's say they get stopped and they're on the 5 to 4-yard line. I trust my defense to make them go the distance opposed to just getting a first down or 2. I want them to go because the play calling is going to be different from Byron Leftwich side. When you're backed up and your back is against the wall, you're going to call it different. You're not going to try it, no matter if Terrific Tom is there or not. You're probably going to run the ball. Now you get the stops that you need on defense. Now you get the punt, and you're at midfield. Now you got an easier Aaron Rodgers to march right back down the field, score the touchdown, and go for 2. I think it was a mistake on Matt LaFleur's part taking the points. Yeah, certainly in retrospect it is. And
that's just,
question,
No, we said
I can be a Monday morning quarterback right now.
2:10 to go. It's a tough one. It's not there'll be a lot of murmuring about that in Green Bay for a while. The touchdown right at the end of the half was a killer. Look, let me go to Tom now because we showed some of them. Let's see if I can read my own writing. This is the first couple of series, Keith. 3rd and 4, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 7, touchdown. A 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 14. A 3rd and 9 to 14 and 7. Look, I understand there were picks later. 3rd down and long, you keep doing that against a defense that have been playing well. Speaks for the way Tom Brady plays in a game like this.
Well, this is the way Tom Brady has played pretty much his entire career. He understands 3rd down situations. He understands who to get the football to in 3rd down situations. He was out of the gun on every single 3rd down that he threw the ball. I mean, when you look at that, you say to yourself, okay, Tom Brady, we get it. It's Tom Brady. We're going to give him all of the sugar. But the defensive side of the ball,
I'm there, yeah.
They won this game for the Green Bay Packers.
Well, let's talk about it.
If you think about it, when you talk about the dominance on the defensive end from Shaq Barrett up against Rick Wagner, the right tackle of the Green Bay Packers, he dominated it. He, in my opinion, was afraid of the speed coming off that edge. He forced him to make Aaron Rodgers step up in the pocket. Then when you look at JPP, a guy who's played in the Super Bowl before, who understands this situation, bending the edge, coming around the corner, getting after Tom Brady. And here it is again with Shaq Barrett coming around the corner again, allowing Aaron Rodgers doesn't see him till it's too late. Now, all of a sudden, he steps up. He steps right into the arms of him. So when you look at this defense, whether it's Devin White, whether it's Shaq Barrett, even Jordan Whitehead made plays on the defensive side of the ball. So Todd Bowles had these guys ready to go from Washington to New Orleans, and now we saw exactly what they did to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Well, they have Tom Brady on offense. They have a defense. Look, no one's going to compare it yet. Up until this year, the Bucs hadn't won a playoff game since a certain Super Bowl in which you were a proud member. Look at young Key. And, of course, it was that defense. But there, look, Brad Johnson, against the Raiders. Right?
But when you have guys
Derek Brooks, when you have Derek Brooks, a Hall of Famer, and others, 3 defensive scores.
That team, that defensive team, you can't confuse this Buccaneers defense with that defensive team. We'll have at least, 5, maybe 6 defensive players that'll be up in the Hall of Fame from that defense, whether it's Saps, Brooks, Rice's, Lynch's, Rondé Barber's. I mean, when you think about it, that defense was ridiculous.
That is, and now the Bucs have a chance to, after not having a playoff win since, in 18 years, they've got 3. And now they get to play in the new sombrero in their home stadium. The Bucs join the 2010 Pack, the 2007 Giants, the 2005 Steelers, 85 Pats. 3 road wins into the Super Bowl, but they're at home. They will play the Chiefs, and we're going to hear from Andy Reid and more from Kansas City when Primetime continues.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Intuit TurboTax Live.
Bucs going to be playing in their home stadium against the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 55. Here's the long and the short of it for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs against the Bills today. The long of it, some of this to Tyreek Hill. It's a 71-yard gain, twisting, turning, setting the Chiefs up. And up by 9, the short of it were plays like this. Andy Reid has a boy, he's fine. Andy Reid has a boy, he draws up new stuff every week. And this is the little, the long touchdown pass from Mahomes to Kelsey. And Travis was great. Mahomes outstanding. And he's in. And at that point, there was breathing room. And the Kansas City Chiefs are going to end up winning the AFC Championship game by 2 scores. They hadn't won a game like this by 2 scores in quite a while, but they've been winning almost every game. Let's not forget the main point of it. So the Chiefs go on to win 38-24. Andy Reid and his Chiefs returning to the Super Bowl to try to defend the championship.
I thought it was a good team win. I thought all the coordinators, all 3 coordinators had a nice plan. And the coaches did a nice job with it. And then the players, most of all, believed in it and went out and executed and played their tail off. And so what a great opportunity for Kansas City and for the organization to have the opportunity of going back to Tampa and playing the home team there, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in their stadium?
Obviously, a lot of emotion. Anytime you don't finish the season with the win, I feel like that's the type of emotion you're going to have. But the way it ended, it doesn't sit right with me. How chippy and ticky-tacky it got, and I'm disappointed in myself that I let my emotions get to me there. And it's not how you're supposed to play the game of football. And all the other stuff, it is what it is. But I need to control what I can control, and I didn't there late in the fourth, and it's just not good football.
Well, Josh has embraced the city, as have the Bills, and boy, have they embraced them back. It's a fun ride for them. It ends in a loss, but we'll be hearing from them a lot. As for Andy Reid, so he's talking about his three coordinators. Eric, one of my favorite nicknames, sleeping with Bieniemy, right? Steve Spagnuolo, the longtime defensive coordinator, has been a head coach in the league, and Dave Toub, the special teams coach. When you have confidence, there's confidence in the building, and it spills over to the field. You saw that in 4th and 1 with Henny. You saw it today, Key.
Yeah, and Andy's been known, even in his Philadelphia days, to let his assistant coaches coach. That's what they're there for. They're there to dial up the defense, dial up the offense, the special teams, even to the point where you're seeing Eric Bieniemy at press conferences, where typically around the NFL, you don't see assistant coaches at press conferences. They don't really talk much, but it's been great. It's a great recipe for success in Kansas City. This is one of the reasons that they are now playing in their second straight Super Bowl.
You know what? And it's by a pair, Litnikoff and Wells. Now, I
wasn't born then, Boone.
Well, I did watch them. They're my league. The Jets beat them in the championship game and won the Super Bowl. And then, of course, Tom with Hogan and Julian. And then you see this duo. This isn't news. Speed got the Kansas City Speed got the best of Buffalo.
It gets the best of everybody.
Yes, I know.
I mean, when you think about it, you can't slow them down. It's like a video game out there with Tyreek Hill running around, even to the point where Kelsey runs the way that he runs as a tight end. I mean, it's ridiculous. The speed is just Hartman, ridiculous. And again, Sammy Watkins, a speed demon himself, didn't even play in this game. So when you think about having all that on the field, you're going to get the type of numbers you're getting.
And then you get other guys like Pringle. Once you pop, you cannot stop, right? Potato chips. So they've got a lot of things. But they do have Travis Kelce, who is, and here you go, today's Travis Kelce, we talk about him. He is, roll it, the DraftKings top daily fantasy performer, Travis Kelce. I know you were waiting for this. 39.8 points, and here he is. 118 yards, 2 touches, his 5th career 100-yard receiving game in the postseason for tight ends, breaking a tie with Gronk, who caught a big ball today and blocked great, Vernon Davis, and Nelly, let me tell you about Keith Jackson for the most among tight ends in NFL history. A lot of things to defend for Tampa Bay when we come up to the game, which we're going to talk about in a second.
13 grabs, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I mean, Travis Kelce, like I said, it's like having another receiver on the field in a tight end's body.
Well, they get to erase the board and dial up some new plays. But Tampa will be ready. And we're ready to talk Super Bowl 55 like in about 2 minutes, Key. Chiefs against the Bucs. The defending champs against the guy in Tampa. You think they're fired up in Tampa? Yeah. We may not have the normal Super Bowl week, but we got our team in it. I think they like that. We'll be back.
DraftKings is the official daily fantasy partner of Super Bowl 55. And for the Super Bowl, new players can play free for over $1 million in total prizes when you make your first deposit. Download the DraftKings app and sign up with the code Primetime. You're watching NFL Primetime, presented by Intuit TurboTax Live.
Patrick Mahomes, the Chiefs in Super Bowl 54.
Mahomes keeps it. Touchdown!
Chiefs have life.
Mahomes is simply special. What a rally. This is what an MVP does.
That was signature Mahomes.
We just won the Super Bowl. Kansas City, we're coming home, baby.
Well, a year ago, trailing everybody by at least 10 in the playoffs, including the 49ers and the Super Bowl 54, now Super Bowl 55. Chiefs trying to defend against the Bucs. We've had teams in their home area. The Rams played in the Rose Bowl in Super Bowl 14, beaten by Pittsburgh. The 49ers and Joe Montana played in Stanford Stadium and beat Dan Marino in Miami back in 84. But in your real stadium, of course, the Bucs are the first team. Chiefs try to repeat, and Mahomes, 18 years younger than Tom Brady, has a chance to do what Tom has done, repeat as champs. Mahomes just to the podium in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. Being able to go up against one of the greatest, if not the greatest, quarterback of all time in his 150th Super Bowl, I mean, it's going to be a great experience for me. I mean, to go out there and have a chance to repeat and get to do it against the best. I mean, it's something special, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
Seems like 150 Super Bowls, doesn't it? Here's a little note, and then we'll talk the game. So Brady now becomes the third quarterback to play Super Bowl championship games 3 different decades. Norm Van Brocklin, 40s, 50s, 60s.
I wasn't born, boom.
Gave Bart Starr his only loss in the playoffs. Bart was 9-1. Van Brocklin for the Eagles at the end. Johnny Unitas, you've heard of him.
Yes.
Tom Brady, you've heard of him.
Yes.
And
Great company.
And they get to play at home. What will the Bucs do? We haven't had a chance to get into this. What will the Bucs do that will give either side of the ball, that give the Chiefs their most difficulty? Tom can still make every throw. We saw that today.
No, he can. And I think, depending on what happens with AB, if he comes back healthy and plays in the Super Bowl, I think that will help the Bucs offense move the ball down the field. As we saw, Mike Evans struggled a lot in the passing game today, although the Bucs did win the game. Running the ball with Fournette, I think, is a huge advantage for them, mixing things up with Ronald Jones and running the ball with Fournette.
The Chiefs beat them in Week 12 there. I don't want to say handily, because if you watch the game, you thought it was handily. 3 quarters, the Chiefs had their way. The final was 27-24, which has been Kansas City's MO for these 2 months until this day.
Yes.
The Chiefs gave them trouble. Look, we can go back and overanalyze games then. Bucs haven't lost since. They too quick for them? Well, no one too
Tyreek Hill had 260-something yards, 269 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. And he's not slow. And they played man-to-man. If the Bucs go out there and play man-to-man again against this offense, they're going to get run out of the building. I mean, they've got to make some adjustments on the defensive side. Todd Bowles can't do the same thing he did in November against them. Not a chance.
Well, look, the Bucs winning 3 straight road games. Very short list to do that. 3 straight road games to play a home game. It just sounds wrong, doesn't it? When we come back, game balls. Tom Brady, another Super Bowl, winning where it was cold.
NFL Primetime is presented by Intuit TurboTax Live.
Here's the list of quarterbacks that have taken 2 different teams to the Super Bowl. Craig Morton, you might not have remembered it, but yeah. Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer. Peyton Manning, going to be a Hall of Famer, like as in next week. And Tom Brady, 5 years after he retires, is going to be a Hall of Famer.
They're going to change the rules for him, Boom.
Well, that's the list. Game ball. What do you got today, Key?
Tampa Bay's defense. I'm going to give Coach Todd Bowles and that defense the game ball. When you look at Shaq Barrett with 3 sacks, JPP 2 sacks, Devin White, ridiculous 15 tackles, and just everything that they've done, shutting down Green Bay, New Orleans, and Washington on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to be tough. They're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, let's see, Key. We didn't know if he would clear concussion protocol till Friday. And on Sunday, another masterpiece for Patrick Mahomes. Throwing overhand, underhand, that little tiptoe run that he does. He gets my game ball, and he has a chance to repeat as champ. You know, I look at the Super Bowl, another thing. So the great quarterback of the past and the present, Tom Brady, against the great quarterback of the present and the future, if you will, and that would be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we look forward to Brady Rodgers today and Allen against, obviously, Patrick Mahomes. This will be even more. A 2-week meal leading up to this matchup, Key.
It is going to be interesting, but remember, Andy Reid, as you know, Boom, bye weeks, that's his deal. So he'll have a bye week going into the Super Bowl. This week for him is all game planning with Eric Bieniemy, and then they get down to business the week of the Super Bowl. So that's going to be real interesting to see the game plan that they come up with.
He rarely loses after a bye, but then again, the Bucs I thought was the most important bye this year. They were 7-5, lost to the Chiefs, took a bye, the last one of the season, and won every game since then. Tom Brady's going to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl. We're going to have primetime at the Super Bowl. This is Keyshawn Johnson. I love you.
Had fun.
Tommy, we miss you. I'm Chris Berman. Scott Van Pelt coming up. Scotty?